Hello and welcome. My name's Sam. Thank you for joining me for this short 20-minute gentle yoga practice. Just an opportunity helping you to connect with your body and your breath. So we're going to start by coming to find a comfortable seat towards the back of your mat. Maybe that's kneeling, maybe that's just finding a cross-legged seat, maybe it's something else. So just taking these first few moments to settle and maybe to close down the eyes. Just beginning to allow everything to slow down. You may even like to place one hand over your heart space, one hand over your belly, so you can really feel into the breath as it enters in through your nose, out through your nose. Nice, slow, even breaths into your body, maybe even making that exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. Becoming aware of those parts of you that are connected to the ground, so your sit bones, the edges of your feet. Feeling into that gentle rebound of energy up through your spine, all the way up through to the crown of your head. Feeling your belly, your lungs expand 360 degrees as you breathe in. Feeling everything soften back down towards the ground as you breathe out. Releasing your hands back down onto your thighs. Just taking a moment to drop your chin down towards your chest, feeling into the back of your neck. Maybe sending a nice deep breath into that space between your shoulder blades. And rolling your head over to the right so that your right ear meets your right shoulder. So now you feel this gentle stretch down the left side of your neck and down into the top of your shoulder. And then exhale as you bring your chin back down towards your chest. Inhale to take it over to the other side. So just moving your head in these semicircles. Exhaling chin to chest. Inhale ear to shoulder. Side to side, just feeling into space around your neck and top of your shoulders. Beautiful. Bring it back to center. Maybe slowly opening the eyes. And in your own way, maybe that's rolling over your knees, bring your hands in front, but coming to find your way into an all fours tabletop position. So coming into your all fours, just taking a moment to make sure that your hips are stacked above your knees and your shoulders are stacked above your wrists, and your knees are kind of hip distance apart as well. So we don't want them too close together, so that you've got really good grounding through your hands and your legs, your feet to your knees. We're going to take a few cat-cows here, so just beginning to work into the spine. On an inhale, lowering the belly, tilting your tailbone up towards the ceiling, shining your heart forwards. And then exhaling to round through the spine, pressing your hands into the earth, dropping your chin down towards your chest so you create that space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, lower the belly down towards your mat. Look forwards. Then exhaling to round. Good. Taking one more, nice and slow, just moving with the rhythm of your breath. Exhale, round. Good. On your next inhale, coming back to a neutral tabletop position. So from here, we're going to begin to transfer a bit more weight into this left hand. And on an inhale, that right arm is going to reach up towards the ceiling, opening across the front of your heart space as you find a bit of an open twist here. And as you exhale, you're going to thread your right arm through the gap between your left arm and your left thigh, bringing your shoulder, your right shoulder, all the way down onto your mat, the side of your face down onto the mat. And then beginning to creep those left fingertips forwards, making sure, seeing if you can keep your hips stacked above your knees. So those left fingertips really reaching as far away from you as they can, and it's almost like you're pressing the back of your forearm, your right forearm, into the ground. Closing your eyes and breathing here. Continuing with those nice, slow, even breaths into your body. Inhaling to create space. And exhale as you soften into the pose a little bit more. Take one more breath here. Good. And then bringing your left hand just in front of your face, pressing into that left hand, bringing yourself back to all fours, back to your tabletop, and then we're going to take that on the other side. So this time bringing the weight into the right hand. Inhale, left arm reaches up towards the sky. And then exhale to thread the arm through the gap, shoulder coming all the way down onto your mat. And then slowly creeping your right fingertips towards the top of your mat. So increasing that stretch in the shoulders, across the upper back. Just taking 3 nice full deep breaths here. Good, and then slowly bringing the right hand just in front of your face, pressing into your hand. Slowly making your way back to your all fours. We're going to bring the hands, just one hand span in front. So keeping those fingers spread nice and wide, pressing into the palms of your hand, into the knuckles of your fingers, tucking your toes. And as you press into your hands and lift your knees away from the ground, you send your hips up and back into a downward facing dog. So here, just taking a moment to maybe pedal out through the feet. So bending the knees nice and slowly, one at a time, as you feel into the soles of your feet, the backs of your calves. Allow your neck to relax and your head to hang heavy. Eventually coming to find some stillness here. Those sit bones tilting up towards the sky, maybe a slight bend in the knees, and it feels like the heels are drawing down towards the earth but not necessarily touching. The goal here is for a nice long spine. Good. Slowly beginning to tiptoe towards the top of your mat. And you can bend your knees as much as you need to. Bring your feet hip distance apart. And allowing yourself to soften here into a ragdoll. So taking opposite hand, opposite elbow. Again, a soft bend in the knees, bending the knees as much as you need to. Maybe your belly is resting on top of your thighs. And you take a little sway from side to side. Back and forth. Allowing everything to be loose, your head to hang heavy, your arms to be heavy. You're feeling all 4 corners of your feet rooting down into the ground. Good, and then releasing your fingertips down towards the ground. We're going to start to heel toe the feet out towards the edges of the mat so that your heels are in and your toes are pointing outwards. You're going to start to bend through your knees and lower your hips down towards the ground. So we're coming towards Malasana, our yogic squat. And so if this is enough for you here, then you can stay here. Maybe just taking a little sway from side to side, feeling into the hips here. If you're coming down a little bit lower, slowly lowering down, trying to keep the soles of the feet on the ground here. But again, if you want to work into it slowly by lifting the heels one at a time, that's also a nice option. Eventually coming to find some stillness here. And dropping into your Malasana, bring the palms together, your elbows gently pressing into your knees. Inside of your knees, help open out through the hips. Tailbone heavy down towards the ground. Spine growing nice and tall. Your shoulders drawing away from your ears. Tops of your shoulders drawing away from your ears. Good. Slowly releasing fingertips down towards the ground. Beginning to lift the hips. Pressing down through the feet as you slowly roll all the way up. So arms and head still heavy. Rolling up nice and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. On an inhale, take the arms out and up. Reaching fingertips towards the ceiling, bringing your palms together. And then as you exhale, you're going to bend through the knees. Bring your hands down towards your heart as you come back down to your Malasana. Good. Taking another moment here to pause, maybe closing down the eyes. Slowing down the breath. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Good. Bring the fingertips back down towards the ground. Palms back down to the ground. Stepping it back to a downward facing dog. Rooting down through your hands, through your feet. On an inhale, right leg sweeps up towards the sky. Imagine someone's pulling your right heel up and back. And as you exhale, shifting the shoulders forwards, hugging your knee in towards your chest, or almost so that your knee could touch your nose. And stepping the foot between the hands. If the foot doesn't quite make it there, if your foot ends up somewhere here, we can take the right hand to the back of the heel and just give it a little shift forwards. Okay, so dropping that back knee down towards the mat. And just taking a moment to ensure that the right knee is stacked above the right ankle so that we've got good support of our joints. When you feel like you're stable through your feet, through your front foot and your back leg, on an inhale, rising all the way up into your low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Pressing down through your feet, interlacing your fingers and taking your hands to the back of your skull. Lifting through your elbows, so the hands supporting the back of your head, feet rooting down. Gazing towards the ceiling. Good. Exhale, release the hands. Hands float back down towards the mat. And then slowly starting to shift the hips back so that we straighten through this right leg. And you might walk your fingertips back with you as well a little bit. Create a little bit more space in the body. Coming onto your right heel, your right toes pointing towards your forehead. And it feels like you're pressing this right heel into the mat and dragging it back towards you a little bit. Again, finding length in the spine here. The tops of your shoulders, drawing back away from your ears. Staying with your breath. Not forcing anything. If the knee needs to be bent here a little bit because the hamstrings are a bit tighter, that's okay. Good. Starting to bend that right knee. Walk the hands forwards once more. Left hand is going to come down onto the mat. On an inhale, that right arm reaches up towards the sky. So opening through the heart, finding a little twist here. And then reaching your right fingertips back towards the back of your mat. And you may stay here, and this is perfectly fine. And you may want to bend your left knee and take hold of the left foot with your right hand. Just an option here. If you have hold of the foot, then just drawing your foot in towards your glute a little bit, increasing that stretch down the front of your left side, your left thigh and hip. Good, and then kicking that foot into your hand, kicking it back, pressing into your left hand. Now creating a little bit more of an active stretch here. So helping to strengthen that left quad, left psoas. Staying with your breath. Slowly release the foot. Right hand floats down onto the mat, tucking your back toes, pressing into your hands, and stepping the right foot back to a downward facing dog. You're taking a breath here. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale to shift the shoulders forwards, stepping the left foot between the hands. Back knee drops down. Making sure that left knee is stacked above the left ankle. Pressing down through the front foot. On an inhale, arms rise up. Coming into your Anjaneyasana, interlacing the fingers, taking the hands to the back of the skull, pressing through the feet, lifting through your elbows with your hands supporting the back of your head. Gazing towards the ceiling. Good. Exhale, release the hands, fingertips floating down towards the earth, and then sending the hips back as you begin to straighten through your left leg, walking the hands back if you need to, either staying here or lifting the left toes, pointing the left toes towards your forehead, crown of your head reaching forwards, and shoulders drawing back. Good. Inhale, bend through the left knee. Bring the right hand down in line with your left foot. Palm pressing into the ground. Inhale, left arm sweeps up, opening through the heart, gazing towards the sky. And then reaching the left arm back towards the back of your mat, either staying here or, if you like, bending the right knee, taking hold of the right foot with your left hand. Drawing the right heel in towards your glute. And then kicking the foot back into your hand. Gazing over that left shoulder. Good. Slowly release the foot. Left hand comes down. Tucking the back toes. Stepping the left foot back to a downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. And slowly lowering your knees down onto your mat, taking them a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Bringing your big toes together, sending your hips back towards your heels, and coming to find a child's pose, resting your forehead on the ground. And let your body be soft. Maybe there's a little rock from side to side. And then taking your left hand off the mat, just off the mat, we're going to reach the right arm over to the left as well. And right hand is going to land on top of your left hand. So we're coming into a little side stretch here in your child's pose. Try and keep your right hip anchored down towards your right heel. Just taking a couple nice deep breaths here. Good, and then inhale, bring it back to center. And exhale, take it over to the right. Right hand off the mat slightly, left hand on top of right hand. Left sit bone anchoring down towards your left heel. Breathing into the left side of the body, the left ribs. Using your inhale to create space. Good, slowly bring it back to center. And then taking your arms all the way back so that your fingertips are reaching towards the back of your mat. And let your shoulders drop down towards the ground. Good, and then bringing your hands just underneath your shoulders and slowly pressing your way up to a kneeling position, or maybe you come back to a seat for a moment. Closing down the eyes. Just taking a moment to allow the practice to settle in your body. Bring one hand on top of the other over the heart space. And just take one releasing breath together. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. And when you're ready, breathing in through the nose. Nice full breath in. And sighing out through the mouth. Releasing your fingertips down onto the ground beside you. And with an inhale, taking the arms out and up. Surrounding yourself with everything that you need for the rest of your day and your week. Bring your palms and fingertips together above your head. And as you exhale, drawing your hands down through the center line. Pausing at the heart space. Just taking a little moment to thank yourself for carving out this time to practice, to connect with your body, with your breath, with your intention for the rest of your day. And thank you for sharing your time and your energy with me. I hope to see you again soon.